Well, hello, everybody. Mark Comfort here, and this is one of the favorite things I like to do. We're going to talk today about a deal, and not just a deal to a spectacular part of the world. Actually, the Rhône River that you're going to hear about today is my wife Mimi's favorite river anywhere in the world, and we're going to go through all that. On my right, I think it'd be your right, is Marcy New, our AmaWaterways representative, and Marcy and I will take you through this incredible experience and give you hopefully as much information as you need to know to say this is something you feel like you want to do or not. One thing I want to say before we get going is, and Marcy sure knows this, oh my gosh, the pent-up demand is greater than anybody thought it would be. And I'm an eternal optimist, and this pent-up demand is incredibly, it's unbelievable. It's just plain unbelievable. And thank you, Lord, for that, because people are wanting to go and people are wanting to do things. But the other thing we are seeing is they're very, very comfortable. It's almost the smaller the better. And we're seeing that as a trend that people are wanting. The river cruise industry has been phenomenally popular, and I think a lot of that is because it is a smaller experience. Right now, the European Union, we don't know if it'll change by then, but they're allowing about 100 people maximum on the ships. So, 50 staterooms thereabouts. So you're going to hear all about this. We're going to talk about this incredible ship. We're going to talk about this incredible river. We're going to talk about the ports that we stop at. We're going to talk about Christmas markets that make this even more unique than ever before. In fact, on that very subject of unique, Marcy and Mimi and I took a group. We negotiated a deal very similar to what we have now, and that's why Alma loves us, because they know we can create what is called in the industry anything less than 6 months out is basically called last minute booking. So they and I love this. I just love this. I said, give us the lowest price you can give us, but then upgrade our clients to the best available cabin at no additional charge. And so listen, you guys, we already have 10 couples and 21 people. Yes, 21 people. Why is there not a number? Because we have, actually it's Mimi's sister, Jenny Stratton, is taking her 2 daughters, and these rooms have triples. They also, it's one of the few ships that have connecting cabins together. So you're gonna hear all about this. We're gonna get, I don't know, I get so excited. I know this. We've been on this river before. I've been on it twice, and it's spectacular. The southern part of France, and everything is arguable, right? Because people have different opinions, but it's one of the most beautiful places in all of Europe, if not the most beautiful. Like I said, to my wife, Mimi, it's her favorite river anywhere in Europe or across the world. To me, it's probably in my top 3, but the reality is it's spectacular. Okay, who is this cruise for? We'll talk about that as we go through, but I'll just tell you this. If you're a foodie, this is arguably one of the best places in all of Europe or all the world to experience. The culinary expertise, Lyon, promotes themselves and has many recognitions as the gastronomical capital of the world, not just of France, not just of Europe, but the world. Now, I don't know who votes on that, but I think it's pretty special, the food. You're going to love the food. Wine, this is wine region, the Provence and Burgundy area that we'll be traveling through in southern France is known for their wines, Beaujolais and Côtes de Rhône and Chateau de Pape. There's so many fabulous wines. We'll hear more about that. So wine lovers would love this trip, or will love this trip. I'm a historian. I just love ancient history. And this Rhône River Valley that comes north from the southern part of France is where the Roman army came up when they were conquering most of what is now Europe. And so there are many ruins from the Roman era. Matter of fact, in the city of Arles, there's the second biggest Colosseum, Roman Colosseum in the world outside of Rome. It's just, they still use it today. Yeah, I've been there. It's spectacular. Avignon, you're going to see that. Did you guys know that they call this the city of the popes? 200 years or plus, the popes and I think there were popes in Italy too, but they were arguing about who was the real pope. But they settled in Avignon when whoever the popes were at that time got kicked out of Italy, kicked out of Rome. So all this history, so very much history. But one of the things that this trip has more than anything that you can't find unless you go on these Christmas markets is shopping. And I'm not a big shopper. Mimi isn't either. But these Christmas markets are an experience, none like we have here in the United States. Although they're really trying to get these Christmas markets started in the United States because they're so popular in Europe. So with that said, Marcy, I think I've wetted everybody's whistle, but now why don't you get into what makes AmaWaterways special and why we chose AmaWaterways, and then we'll talk about the deal, the value at the end, okay?
Okay, sounds great. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Mark really told you all about this beautiful region, but I want to tell you why we are such very solid partners with Mark and his advisors. And a big percentage of it is that they are very familiar with the product, and they've taken the time and educated themselves and traveled with us many years in a row to make sure that they match your perfect vacation expectation. So here we go. So at AmaWaterways, we always say drinking good wine with good food in good company is one of life's most civilized pleasures. And what you're looking at here is just some of the many vineyards that you see all throughout these beautiful countries, that actually in France, that you will visit. So we are a family-owned and operated company. Rudy Schreiner is our co-founder and president. Christine Karst is a co-founder and an executive vice president. And then we have our senior vice president of sales, Gary Murphy. We are very proud of Rudy. Rudy is from Austria, and by trade, he is an architect. So he actually constructs our ships, very different than anyone else on the rivers. And what that means to you as a guest is very important. When we, the rivers come three different ways. They come perfect water, high water, and low water. And unfortunately, in 2018, we had some low water situations, and we were the only river line that had absolutely no cancellations. And we operated our ship in 11 inches of water. So we were able to take everybody through Europe just as their expectations had been. And so we're very proud of that. He builds our ships very different. Christine Karst is from Germany, and she is very engaged with our advisors and our guests from all over the globe. And then you have Gary Murphy, and he is very involved in our sales side of the business. And he and his family used to own Brendan Worldwide Tours, which was a big tour company. So together they formed AmaWaterways in 2002. I'm very excited to say we're celebrating 19-year our anniversary on Thursday of this week. So it's very exciting for us. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this map, but I did put it up just so you can see the different rivers. This is the Danube River, the largest river in Western Europe. It's got some war history. The topography of this river is very lush, very mountainous. You see quite a few palaces along this river. Then you have the Rhine River, and the Rhine River is really known for its castles and runs very close tied to the Danube being number one. And then you come down here through France, and you have the Seine River. This is known as the River of the Arts. You've got a lot of, we visit Monet's home. You've got a lot of Van Gogh influence in here. And this is where we visit the beaches of Normandy. Then you have Bordeaux, as we know, the old wines. But let me tell you, the trip we're going to take has got some of the finest wines in the world as well. And then you've got the Douro, which is through Portugal and Spain. And you've got the Mosel, which is up here, this beautiful ladylike river that connects with the Main Canal and down the Rhine or the Danube. And then we have our exotics. So we've got Egypt. This is the first year we're offering the Nile River. And then we've got Vietnam, Cambodia, and an extension in Thailand. And then we have Africa, and you can do Africa 5 different ways. So not to forget that we have all those choices. Something very important to us at AmaWaterways, as the pandemic set in, we know that everyone kind of got to a point where they said, oh my gosh, what companies are going to still be in business? So of course we gave you the option to take a future cruise credit with extra dollars that we gave you for your Ama bank account, or you could take the refund. And what we really want everyone to know is that we are a debt-free company. All of our ships are paid for when they are ordered and the construction starts. And we know that your vacation dollars are an investment. And we want you to feel comfortable and know that your investment is safe with us and safe with our very valued partner, Cruise Holidays. And that's very important for you to feel comfortable about and to know moving forward, we will be here for a very, very long time. So the overall value of river cruising, if you've never been, is quite amazing. Our biggest goal is to immerse you in the local cultures and the local people. These rivers really are the vessels and veins of these countries, not like a big ocean where they take you on the outer edges of land. We take you through the heart, into the center of all of the energy of the local people, the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, the beautiful vineyards, and all these wonderful culinary experiences. And all of that is included. We have up to 6 tours per day in the packaging that are all included for you. It is very intimate and relaxing. As Mark mentioned, we are only booking the ships currently to the capacity of 100. So it's a very, very relaxing environment with no crowds, no lots of people situations. And then, of course, the personal attention. We have a 5-star rating, and our personal attention to each and every guest is what really matters to us. We have no crowds or long lines, as I mentioned. All of the staterooms have a river view. And one thing very important is we dock in the heart of the city. Not all of the river companies do this, but why that's important to you is because we want you to use this beautiful luxury moving hotel as your focal point. So when we're in the city, you are just a block or 2 blocks away from everything that city or village has to offer. So very, very convenient for you as well. The formal wear, you can leave that at home. We are country club casual on the river. So during the day while you're doing your sightseeing and your tours, you wear whatever you would like that's comfortable for you. And in the evening, sometimes you'll go to dinner in that same clothing, or you might want to change just to a pair of slacks and a shirt. Or ladies, anything that you might wear to church, or something that during this time of year is a little bit warmer. It's not going to be really cold, but you might want like a light jacket. And then of course we have no seasickness because there's no sea. It's a river. You can see both sides of the banks at all times. We have personalized small group guided excursions. We have always in the industry had some of the smallest groups that you will find on the river, but now with the pandemic having taken place, we even have smaller groups. And I love this because you will get to know your guide, and your guide is from that region, that city. And they will tell you as you're walking or whatever you're doing. We've got some train rides, we've got all kinds of different things, but they will be giving you an update as to what the history is all around you. And because these groups are smaller, you really get to engage with them on a one-on-one basis. So we have gentle walkers, regular walkers, and active walkers. One day you may feel like you want to be an active walker, and the next day you just want to take it a little bit easy. You might want to be a gentle walker. But the ultimate goal is to never leave anyone out. We want everyone to know that no matter your ability, you still have the opportunity to go see all these beautiful spots and places and villages. And then we have a fitness instructor on board, or a wellness host, and they will conduct 5 classes per day. And these will be 30 to 45 minutes, and they will not conflict with your other tours. And it might be cardio, it might be, we do some fun dance classes, we do strength training, we do core, we do yoga, we do some fun things like yoga and champagne tasting, core stretching and chocolate tasting. We make it lots of fun. But it has been very, very popular with our guests. We want you to have the conveniences that you do of your own home and feel like you are with family. Dining, very important. Not only are you in a gastronomical, amazing area on this journey, but your gastronomy on board is also phenomenal. We are the only river line that was inducted into the La Chaîne Rôdisseur Society. This is a culinary society in France. It's extremely affluent. It is a very prestigious award. And we actually were inducted in 2014. And it's a lot of different reasons, but excuse me, many of them are that every single evening, based on the region that we're traveling, your dining menu will change. And it will change and be paired with the wines of that region. So every day you're experiencing something new that the local people get to indulge their culinary experience with as well. And then also we have our own bakeries on board. Many river lines do not. The baked goods are delivered. Ours are baked on board. And I have to tell you, this is probably my biggest downfall on board, is the bread and the cheese and the beautiful wines. Anyway, we can also accommodate any dietary restrictions for you as well. In addition to this, you will have in the mornings, you will have sparkling wine for breakfast if you prefer, or a fresh mimosa. At lunch, you will have premium hand-selected wines and to pair with your lunch menu. And then you will also be in that region for dinner. So then the next day, all of that will change for you. So you really are getting to immerse yourself in this culinary explosion that this particular region has to offer. We also have a happy hour that takes place every evening, 1 hour before dinner, and it's different open bar selections. So you can certainly indulge in something different. However, if you are the person that maybe says, no, that's not for me, we have the most beautiful coffee cafes. This is very important. We have espressos, cappuccinos, lattes, the finest Swiss hot chocolate in the world. I tell you, you must try it. And then we have the international tea stations, along with lemonades and iced teas and beautiful mineral waters. And all of these wonderful things will be available to you all day, complimentary. And then we have the one-of-a-kind chef's table. The chef's table will accommodate 24 guests at a time. The beautiful fun part of this is we're going to go ahead and make your reservations ahead of time, and you get to really have some fun dining with new people, but people from your area of the country, maybe some guests from other areas of the country. But this is a 9-course meal. It is paired with all of the premium wines of those regions. And it is absolutely delightful. It is complimentary to all of our guests. So this is something that I think really is always such a highlight. But I have to tell you, the main dining area is a highlight as well.
Marcy, let me interject real quick.
Sure.
So our guests know that we'll be going with Mimi and I, and hopefully you, on this trip, is that we will set up a group at the chef's table. So I'll take care of all that for you. And you'll love the chef's table. It is very, very, very special. Apologize. Go ahead.
Oh, no, that's great. Thanks, Mark. Yes, the chef's table is kind of a lifetime kind of experience. It's very intimate. The area itself is built panoramic. So while you're having this beautiful, intimate, fabulous dinner, you're also looking at the beautiful sights along the river. So it really is special. So here is our itinerary. And you can see this is Lyon, the big purple dot, if you will. And then we go all the way down to Avignon. And you can see Avignon here. So I know Mark wants to talk about this, but this is really the Côtes de Rhône region. And as you get to Lyon or into Lyon, you're into the Beaujolais area, but you're also into the Burgundy area. So what that means to you is a lot of fabulous food and a lot of fabulous wine, but also a lot of amazing history and art. This particular itinerary really has something for everyone. Mark, do you want to talk about these beautiful little spots along the way, or?
Yes, if I may interject. Lyon is we'll end up, most everybody will do the Paris 3-night pre-package, but whether you do or not, Paris is the best place to fly into, and we can help with people's air arrangements. But For example, Mimi and I are going to fly into Paris, and most everybody I know will too. Then coming home, you have different options of where you want to fly out of, depending if you want to take a post package or go to Barcelona, say, or to go back to Paris. But we'll work with you on that. But anyway, the other thing that Europe is so great at are these trains. Their train systems are fabulous, and we will take a train from Paris to Lyon to get started. I think it's an hour and a half, something like that. But I love the train experiences. I think it's great. We'll board there in Lyon that first day, which is December 2nd. Mm-hmm. And again, that area is just so beautiful. But what we'll do that first day is just get acclimated to get set up on the ship, you know, get your clothes unpacked, that sort of thing. And I call it, that's when the real vacation begins, when you get on the ship. And if you look at this map, this is what I love. All those black dots are the areas that we will be stopping or doing tours in. And many of them you may have heard of, like Lyon or like Arles or like Avignon. Many of them you might not have heard of. And I have always found it's the places that you've never heard of and have no expectations that exceed your expectations the greatest. And when you come back, it's those places that I think have really, really, really been what makes this trip special. But this whole area in southern France is just magnificent. You know, we haven't said anything about the scenery, but there's beautiful, spectacular scenery in this area too. Mm-hmm. Now look and see if you'll notice how close together those black dots are. And my point to saying this is, what I love maybe most about river cruising is because these spectacular places that we'll be stopping are so close to each other, we mm-hmm. spend a lot less time cruising and mm-hmm. a lot more time experiencing these places. And of course, the Christmas markets, they're most special at nighttime. And like I said, the Europeans as a whole, they embrace these Christmas markets. They just embrace them. There's a thing called Glühwein, which Marcy and I, when we did the Danube River a few years ago with a group where we had a value like this, we had a little over 40 people go with us. And oh my gosh, I call that Glühwein antifreeze. It keeps you warm. But the reality is this southern part of France is going to be much, much warmer statistically than when we did the Danube River, because the Danube is a little bit farther north, or the Rhine River, which can be even farther north. So it's not going to be cold, cold, cold like winter skiing stuff at all. Matter of fact, weather tells us statistics over the past, I think I looked over the past 5 years or 8 years, it'll be in the high 40s, maybe low 50s as the high, and into the low 40s, high 30s at nighttime as the coolest weather. So we'll let you know a little closer to the time we leave what the weather trends are at that time. But layers, layers, layers is the name of the game. And I love this picture right here, because is there any thing more iconic than the Eiffel Tower in Paris? And I don't care how many times you go to Paris, and I've had the fortune and blessing of being there many times. It's absolutely spectacular. Matter of fact, on the second level up from the ground, we had a chance to have dinner there one time. And if that's something that's of interest to you, when we do this prepackage, let us know. We can help you out with things like that. But oh my gosh, the trip starts out special in Paris. It's the City of Lights. It's something that everybody enjoys, no matter how many times they've been there. And then when we take a high-speed train to Lyon, we'll be seeing 1 or 2 stops every day. And like Marcy said, all of the tours at every port are included, and you'll have a choice of tours to pick from. And I talked to a gentleman yesterday, and he asked, when do I have to make my decisions on what tours I do? And I said, you can make them that night, the night before you stop at the next port of call, or make them in the morning of the day that we dock. So it's so beautiful the way the river cruise is set up. There's just not a lot of structure, and decisions can be made really while you're there. I can tell you the ones that I think are the best based on the ones I've done, but you might have different interests throughout. And then I will say this, there are lots of hiking and biking opportunities as tours go. So if you are a little more active, that's perfectly fine. I get the biggest kick out of the bikes because they stop at vineyards like this, and or they stop at monasteries for beer tasting. I get the biggest kick out of biking and drinking. Sometimes that doesn't seem to go together, but they do that over in Europe because, you know, let's face it, man, they didn't drink water in the early days because the water wasn't safe to drink. So they drank beer and they drank wine, and they're used to it. And they enjoy life. They just embrace life. I love this picture right here, Marcy, because that is so, it's such a great picture of what you'll see on this trip. The vineyards throughout Europe, but in this area are absolutely beautiful. The little villages that we'll see, not every place we go will be, of course, as big as Paris or Lyon or even Avignon. A lot of them will be the smaller areas like that. And the Burgundy and Provence regions in southern France are known as some of the most scenic and beautiful in the entire country, or the entire continent of Europe. So, Marcy, you want to take over on the wine tastings? Because
yes. So gastronomy, as Mark has mentioned, is a very, very big part of the Burgundy region as well as Provence. And they're really known for their traditional family dinners. You see a lot of people always dining together, lots of choices at their tables. And I'll tell you, I think we could learn so much because they don't hurry a meal. They take their time. They have these beautiful wines, these beautiful cheeses. They have macaroons. They have all these wonderful things, and they take time and they really enjoy it. They really allow their palate to absorb it and enjoy the whole time as family and friends. And I love that about France. It's all over many parts of France like that. So we are going to be on the beautiful AmaKristina. This ship is 135 meters. And as we said, we'll accommodate about 100 people with the current protocols in place. But we do have this beautiful swimming pool. I love to point this out. Our swimming, I know you're all looking at me going, it's going to be in the 50s. Who would go swimming? I say you can go swimming because it's heated. It is heated year round. And what a beautiful way after a wonderful day of tasting and seeing heritage sites and doing all the fun things that we're going to do to just relax. So you've got service up here. You can have a nice glass of wine. You can have a nice coffee, whatever you'd like. But the ship offers so many beautiful options. And here's the beautiful main dining room. I love to show this because there's different size tables, and some of them are booths. It just depends. Currently, with the protocols in place, we will have assigned dining, and we'll assign it as your group, so you can move within your group. It will be your group with all the people that you're traveling, and that's really the only difference. We don't have buffets. Everything will be. We've got new food stations arranged, and everything will be served a la carte to you by wait staff. So very important. I'm really excited about the culinary experience because we've always had a wonderful culinary experience. I think anybody who's been with us would tell you the food was amazing, but it's even going to be more amazing because during COVID, Rudy worked very closely with our head chef, and they came up with some new menus and some new options and a new way that we're going to serve with appetizers and all these wonderful things. So the culinary experience is going to be beautiful, as it always is. And then you've got the double balconied staterooms. So you've got the French balcony here, which this opens up. You have beautiful viewing of the river. You're just not out in the elements. And then you can go out here, you can get your coffee, whatever it may be, and go outside and sit and watch the beautiful scenery along the river while closing your door and making sure that the temperature inside is something you can enjoy when you're done. So now we get to the fun part. We get to the destinations. So you've been through Paris. You had a wonderful time in Paris. You're going to take TGV to Lyon. And Lyon as a city is over 2,000 years old. It is a very old city. It has an old Roman amphitheater. I think Mark mentioned that. It's got a lot of Renaissance and medieval architecture. And it even has the home to the 19th century basilica known as Notre Dame. Notre Dame. I think every single city in France has a Notre Dame, to be quite honest. But this one has a special basilica as well. Mark, would you like to add anything to this wonderful city?
Well, I was gonna actually step back a step, talking about the AmaKristina.
Oh
That
yeah.
ship was voted the #1 river cruise vessel in the entire world, not just with Ama, but in the entire world of all the other companies. It was voted in 2018 the #1 river cruise ship in the world. The other thing I'd like to point out, the Eastern European staff, primarily Eastern European staff that Ama hires, these people are just amazing with their service, amazing, and their understanding of English and of the American culture. But I got to tell you, and I've experienced this already. Just got back from taking my family to the Galapagos Islands. Literally, we got back Friday night, and the service we received everywhere was exemplary. Why? Because these people are so excited about having us back on board to create jobs for them. And I expect the service to be even better than it normally is. So, Marcy, I had to interject that. Go ahead, you can go along with each city, and then I'll throw in my 2 cents worth, okay?
Okay, great. This Lyon, this is one of the Christmas markets in Lyon. Lyon has 2 Christmas markets. So each and every city and village we visit will have a Christmas market. They'll be some of them will be very, very different. Some will be handmade items from that little city, something that they're known for, all the way up to certain times you'll probably see some of the same things in the market, but very, very beautiful crafts. And this, we know Lyon, as we've been talking about the gastronomic capital, this gives you an idea of some of the beautiful things that you can experience here. Of course, the olives, you've got the cheeses, you have the macaroons, you've got praline pie, you have sausage that is spectacular. So all of these things, not only will you experience on the ship with the different regions, but also in the Christmas markets. All of the restaurateurs will be out making their favorites and the famous things that they have in their restaurants. So you will get the opportunity to really experience again a culinary explosion of what the local people really enjoy. And then we go into Vienne, and Vienne is it's actually one of the richest of the French cities from the Roman and the medieval building structures. So you're going to see a lot of different architecture in this area. This is a city where there are many, many Roman ruins that are preserved, that you will see as well. Back in the times of the Romans, this was a city that was inhabited with the ruins, and they've protected the ruins, so you get all of that history. And the really fun thing in this city is, I can just picture it in my mind, it's going to be a little mystical because it's Christmas, you know, and we are going to take a steam engine. Oh, I didn't put it in here. So you can just imagine in your mind, it is a steam engine and a train, and we are going to do our tour throughout this whole area. And the scenery is beautiful. It goes on the outer edges of the city, and there's like cliffs and rocks. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. And then you're also going to get to enjoy the beautiful, beautiful Christmas markets. Now, Vienne, different than Lyon, has actually 20 Christmas markets. So they will be small little markets in and out of the neighborhoods and in and out of the streets. So you'll see lots of different things, and each one will be decorated differently. You know, if I could describe the Christmas markets, no matter where you are in Europe, I would describe them as magical. You can't take enough pictures. These people decorate everything from a stick in a bucket to the top of all of their trees. It is absolutely spectacular. And Mark, did you have anything you want to contribute on that?
Well, no, I thought that picture was just excellent because the little booth that you saw in the bottom right-hand corner is very evident of the kind of experience you'll have. That's where they have, and by the way, they have all sorts of tastings of all sorts of different kind of foods, from meats to pastries to desserts to just literally everything. And of course, the famous blue vine, antifreeze, I call it, to keep us alert. But I love that picture, Marcy, because that is a very, very typical and spectacular picture showing the lights and giving people a feel. And if that looks good to you, seriously, it's about 20 times better than that picture shows.
It is.
Everybody just be in a great mood. That's what I love about this.
I know.
Now, what would make this better, Marcy, is if there could be wine tasting with chocolate tasting at one of these tours. Is there any way we could do that?
Yes, we have wine tasting with chocolate tasting. You know, I don't know about the train, but I always thought how fun it would be if you were on the train and you were out seeing, doing a little wine tasting and some chocolate tasting, some pastry tasting, whatever it may be. Yes, you will have wine tastings along the way that will be paired with chocolates, that will be paired with the different foods from that particular area. So, and let me tell you, if you're not that wine person, it's okay. We are going to offer many tours in every single city, up to 6, that will accommodate you if you don't want to do the wine tasting. You might want to do the UNESCO World Heritage sites, and you might want to stroll through the city. We have those tours as well. So there's really something for everyone in each one of these little villages.
By the way, at this city right here in Torneau, that's one of the places where we will do the red wine and chocolate tasting. So yes. Again, and like Marcy says, there's something for everybody here. My wife does not drink hardly anything anymore. So the reality is she loves to go along and watch us all have fun. And this is a great place to do that. And again, there's all these active tours too with the biking and hiking and all of these places, but there's so much history. And again, I really want to reiterate, this is small group touring, which makes it so easy. And Ama does the best job. They have these audio boxes where you have a little box around, you know, your neck and headphones in your ears. And so you don't have to be right up next to the guides to hear the history or hear what they have to say. And those of you, by the way, even though the meals are included on the ship, those of you, I do this at least once and usually twice, sometimes 3 times. If you want to stay in between tours are almost always. The rule of cruising is you never want to have a guest miss a meal. So the tour in the morning starts after breakfast and usually ends 12:30, 1 o'clock thereabouts for lunch. And then if there's a tour in the afternoon, it'll start after that. But maybe you'd want to stay in town and get a bite to eat. What I always do, I always go to the tour guide because they're from that area. And I always ask them, hey, where's the most non-tourist place to eat? Where do the locals go eat in this area? And they'll tell me, and I do that all the time. So that's open for you to do too, if you'd like.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then we go to Torneau, and Torneau, this is the St. Philbert's Church, built in the 11th century. This is the only remaining Romanesque part to the abbey that is still standing. And so if you can imagine, think about how long this has been here. The history is phenomenal. Look at the big wall around the city and around the abbey itself. But Torneau also is very, like many of these cities, is very known for its wine and its harvest, and keeping in mind that some of these cities, many times the wines that you are drinking over there, you will not be able to purchase in the US because they can they sell it all right locally because they don't make a whole lot of it. So that's the neat thing also. But this particular little city or village is also known for its stone and chair making. I thought that was so fascinating. So you can take, I always said, just pick up a chair and go sit in the middle of the Christmas markets, and you can do your shopping right from there. But this is one of the markets in Torneau. It has 2 Christmas markets, but this is one of the little markets that you will see along the way, again with the booths and the lights through the trees, and everything is really beautifully lit up. And you know, the sun sets a little bit earlier because it is their winter season. So about 4 o'clock, you're on the river or you're coming in from a tour and you're seeing everything light up. And as you're traveling the short distance or we're staying in the city, you get to see it all happen right in front of you. And it is absolutely breathtaking. It's just magical this time of year.
And just so you know, Ama will arrange our transfers if it's close enough to walk from where the ship docks, because in the evenings, normally we'll have dinner on the ship, and then after dinner, we will go into the towns, into the Christmas markets. And then they have transportation, if it's far enough away, that goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Absolutely, absolutely. In in a lot of these cities, though, you won't have to worry about that. You'll be within walking distance, very, very easily. And then we go to Arles, and we always talk about Arles. I know Mark has talked about Arles. This is really an amazing city that was actually annexed by Julius Caesar for trade. And what you're looking at here is the amphitheater that has been there for many, many, many years and is still in use today. So the one thing I think is so beautiful about Europe, and it really carries it through all of the countries, is that they don't destroy something and rebuild it. They bring it back to its facial features of when it was built, whether it was the 11th century, the 10th century, whenever it was, and they really cherish the history. And I think you see a lot of that in every single little city, but you really get to see it here in Arles. This amphitheater has 20,000 seats, so you can imagine the magnitude of it. And this is also where Van Gogh, the artist, formed his foundation, and you can see a lot of his art influence in this area as well. And Arles has 2 Christmas markets, and I love this picture because it really gives you an idea that they decorate the streets, they decorate the buildings, but I love the streets because each street in many cases in these little cities and villages will be decorated differently, and it will be different colors. One street may be all blue, one may be all clear, one may be all red, and you can see up here how they decorate like flower boxes outside of their homes, so that it is absolutely just breathtaking. I'm just so excited to be there. I'm ready to go now.
Yeah, Arles was Mimi's favorite stop of all of the stops we had on this cruise.
Yeah, it's amazing. And this is just another picture of one of the booths at the Christmas market that you would get to encounter and shop. And then we go to Avignon. And Avignon this is one of them where we do a beautiful wine tasting also, but this is known as the city of popes. Mark mentioned this in his introduction to this beautiful itinerary. So in 1309 to 1337, the seat of the Catholic popes, they fled Rome in the 14th century to get away from Rome and all of the corruption. And this is where they ended up, was in Avignon. So this is known as the city of popes. And this beautiful castle that you are seeing right here, this whole entire palace, we will go visit and see that and get that history. It is truly amazing. And it remained under Pope rule until 1791. So a very medieval city as well, with lots and lots of history. And then the other thing in Avignon that's so much fun is we will have the Christmas markets. Avignon has one giant Christmas market. So it's like all the way throughout their city. There's not a market here and then you walk 2 blocks, but it's one giant, beautiful market. And in Avignon as well, we do a culinary tasting. So we taste the local breads, local cheeses, the fruits, whatever our tasting is that particular time. And then of course, we taste the wines of that region also. In addition to that, not forgetting that you will also have those hand-selected wines on board from this region as well. So you'll get to try all different ones. And again, I say it goes right under that culinary explosion experience. Mark, do you want to add anything about Avignon?
I do, because the history, and again, that's my thing. I love the history in Avignon. It was so spectacular. However, we did an excursion there, and there will be this opportunity for you to do one of the included excursions that I strongly recommend, and that's going to the Truffle Farm and seeing how truffles are found. And honest to goodness, that was a spectacular experience. So that's where we'll do the Truffle Farm visit if you want to, but I would say don't miss that one.
Yes, it is. It's incredible. It's a lot of fun. It's amazing how it certainly tells you why we pay what we pay when we have foods with truffle in it, because it's a lot of work to hunt. So I wanted to make sure you had all of this information. It's how you can reach Cruise Holidays, or if you're busy and can't pick up the phone or don't have time, please just send them an email to recep@cruiseholidayskc.com. And again, remembering it is December 2nd through the 9th, 2021, on the beautiful AmaKristina, the award-winning AmaKristina ship from Lyon, France to Avignon. You have the option of joining Mark and many of the other guests in Paris for 3 nights prior. And then if you prefer, you're there, you might as well get all in that you can. You can do the 3-night post in Barcelona, Spain.
And they will have the transfers included, by the way,
Yes.
from Paris to the ship on the before the cruise begins, and after the cruise is over in Avignon, also train excursion to Barcelona. Which, you know,
Right.
if you look at the continent of Europe, it's a little bit like our East Coast. The states are, I mean, the countries over there are like our states on the East Coast. They're very, very close together. So, and the
Yes.
high-speed trains are spectacular. So I strongly recommend, especially the pre package. I'm a big believer in that, simply because it helps you get over the jet lag before you get on the ship, because the ship experience, the river cruise ship, for those of you that have not river cruised, listen to this statistic that there's in the entire river cruise industry, it's a little over 97, almost 98% satisfaction. Think about that. AmaWaterways leads the industry with almost a 99% satisfaction. And one of the reasons why Mimi and I and our staff, for why we use Ama so much, is they are literally the best company we in our 32 years of existence have ever had a chance to partner with. And that's why we're one of their top producers in the world, and that's why they've offered us this special rate, this $2,999. And what that does, based on when you actually deposit, we get you the best cabin that's available. So obviously, the sooner you make that decision, the better category you can get, the better cabin you can get, and the more money you will save on that. Now, again, if you have time, I'm a big believer, if you're going to pay for an airfare round trip to get there and back, see as much as you can. If you want to go to Barcelona, that's arguably one of the most spectacular cities in Europe too. I love Barcelona. You can't go wrong. So it's totally up to you, but we can help you put your vacation together from start to finish. Maybe your time is such that you just can't afford extra time over there before or after. That's fine. We can help arrange the air to get you there and to get you to the ship on time and to get you back home as quickly as possible. Now, when the ship ends in Avignon, there's several airports down in that area. Marseille, Mimi and I are looking at air right now. Marseille is one of the closest areas and has the most options. Some people want to go back to Paris afterwards,
Right.
and then fly home from Paris, because Paris has the most options anywhere. And you can, sheesh, I don't think you can be in Paris, you know, any time of the year for enough time. So the 3 nights before is good, but most certainly more time would be even better. But we can help customize it. That's my point to you. Deposits are $400 per person. We can take credit card on that. And then final payment, if I'm not mistaken, Lynette Talge, our group coordinator, I believe it's mid to late August that our final payment will be for this. Okay. So with that said, Marcy, is there anything else that you would like to share before we say, how do you say it in France? Bye-bye. Bonjour. Merci. Bonjour. That's the only 2 words I know.
Sure. Yeah.
Outside of Beaujolais and Côtes de Rhône. So go ahead.
No, I just wanted to thank everyone for their time. We know time is valuable, and we certainly appreciate yours, and we hope that you will join us on this amazing journey. And with Mark's negotiated rates, you know, it's a savings and upwards in certain cabin categories of $3,000 and $4,000 a person. So please don't wait. The ships are small. The ships are filling up because we have had record-setting days and months. because people are ready to go. So it's just the simple deposit. Let us get the best stateroom available and come join us on the AmaKristina.
Yes, and I know everybody, this is what I love. When Mimi and I host these kind of trips together, it's just so much fun to share memories with our people who go there. And I think you'll find Mimi and I are very accessible and we're very knowledgeable of that area. The cruise manager that is on the ship, they're just the best. They're just the best. We have asked for Marcy to join us. And Marcy is a lot of fun too, and a lot of knowledge of that area. So we hope they will okay that request. We held them a little hostage. We said, yeah, we'll do this. We'll host this trip if Marcy can go with us. And then we invited the national accounts manager too to join Marcy. So we'll see if they okay that or not. One way or another, we'll look forward to doing that. When we're in Paris, by the way, you will be staying at a fabulous property. And the cruise manager, this is one thing Ama does that I just love. The cruise manager will be there at that hotel. So they actually know a heck of a lot more than Mimi and I do about where to go to dinner, where to go to lunch, what to do close by that's walking distance, how far might it be to the Louvre. There'll be a city tour included in all of this. And then he'll help you know when the transfers are to get to the ship. If you're going to Barcelona, the cruise manager will go to Barcelona with the group too. So that cruise manager will be the #1 person on that ship. Marcy will be #2, and Mimi and I will be 3 and 4. So anyway, we look forward to sharing these memories with you. There's something so very special about the river cruise experience. If you've never tried it, please, I encourage you. It's my favorite way to vacation, my wife's favorite way to vacation. But going to the Christmas markets just adds one extra element of enjoyment and special experiences that you don't get any other time of the year. And then I would sure say this, and I think this is very, very important for you to hear. 2021, there are still opportunities for us to get and offer to you great values like this. And this is an exceptional value, exceptional value. 2022, don't be expecting that. It's going to be a record year in the vacation industry, record year already with the bookings on river cruises, on ocean cruises, on all-inclusive resorts, safaris, everything. It's just unbelievable. And 2023, honestly, is going to be the exact same way. So I would say take advantage of this while you can. Maybe you want to give it to each other as a Christmas present. Maybe you want to do this as a birthday present, anniversary present, something like that. A lot of different ways to rationalize why to do something like this. And invite some friends. We've got the Lake Lotawana connection that very close to where I grew up at Lake Tapawingo out in Blue Springs that has, gosh, I think 10 people already signed up to go on this. So again, you can call our office, ask for any one of our vacation counselors or advisors, or you can ask for me or my assistant, Lynette Talge, who is the group coordinator on this. And with that deposit, we can actually show you and hold you an exact cabin for you. And I think this is the early bird gets the worm, so the sooner the better. Again, we've already got 21 people already signed up on this. And by the way, we've got some ladies taking their sisters, a couple friends going with each other because their spouse didn't want to go. That's perfectly fine. If you're a solo traveler, AMA has negotiated a great deal, only 125%, which is normally it's 200% of the double occupancy rate. So it's a great value for solo travelers. So you'll love the ship, you'll love the experience, you'll love having Mimi and I there. Hopefully you'll love having Marcy there. And this will be an experience that truly will be memories that will last a lifetime for you at a value that you just can't beat. So Marcy, again, thank you for your time. I appreciate this so much. I appreciate everybody watching this. I told you, and Marcy told you, we promised you it would not last an hour. This is a little bit longer than I thought it would last, but gosh, I get so excited, as does Marcy, about this opportunity. And travel is back, everything's back. By the way, we will help you, and we encourage you so strongly to have travel insurance when you go. So, and if you have points for airfare, just let us know. We can give you that's perfectly fine. We'll give you the guidance that you need to know as far as what times to arrive where. Okay. With that said, thank you, everybody. We appreciate your business. Cruising is back. We're back. Everything is good. Everything is very optimistic and exciting, and it was fun to do this today. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.